What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I am Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors here on my AKT Publishing channel. Thank you for joining me, and I appreciate all of you for staying around for every single episode, and I appreciate those who have subscribed to the channel to keep up when all new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors drops and when a new episode of Rumor of the Day also drops Monday through Friday. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up when all new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors and Rumor of the Day drops. And here also on Wrestling with Rumors, every rumor that I read is exactly what it is. It is a rumor. We speculate as wildly as we want, but until they are proven true or we see it actually happen on TV, whether it be on WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, wherever the rumor's coming from, until it's proven true, they remain what they are, rumors. So with that, let's get into it. Let's get into a new episode here of Wrestling with Rumors. First one in, PW Insider says Jade Cargill is in for a big push in the coming weeks, and the current plan is for her to wrestle Naomi at Evolution 2 in Atlanta. So for a lot of us who watch SmackDown, I would say the majority of us who watch SmackDown, we saw Jade Cargill advance in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament as she qualified in her match, winning that Fatal 4-Way. It was good to see because last year she did not get a chance to have her match because of what happened between her and Nia Jax last year. So for Jade Cargill not only to finally actually compete in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament and also win the match is very sweet. It's very good to see. And I absolutely see it going down. Jade Cargill and Naomi running it back again. My best guess is if this is actually true and she's getting a big push in the coming weeks, and she's already won the first round in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. My best guess would be that she is going to win the tournament, giving her a shot at Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. But in the course of that, when we get into July after Night of Champions, it could be the winner, the number one contender, which could be Jade Cargill versus the Money in the Bank winner, Naomi, for that in a match at Evolution. And somehow that match will end in a certain way where we know we're not finished with these two, and we get to SummerSlam, and it's possible that Jade Cargill wins, beats Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, winning the WWE Women's Championship. Something happens. Naomi cashes in on Jade Cargill, taking the WWE Women's Championship, and we continue this program between Naomi and Jade Cargill into the fall, with Jade Cargill chasing Naomi, getting back her WWE Women's Championship. That's a way it could go. That's how I see it. But we're very early in everything kind of hashing out as we're a couple weeks out from Night of Champions, and a little under a month from Evolution 2. But we will see in the coming weeks, and I'm looking forward to it. It's been a ride so far. Corey Hayes, Bodyslam.net says LA Knight is expected to feud with Seth Rollins heading into Night of Champions. This feels like this has been really confirmed as true, especially after we saw what happened on SmackDown during the main event of the Fatal 4-Way match and qualifying to the semifinals for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament on the men's side, when both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker cost LA Knight a possible win in that Fatal 4-Way. Cody Rhodes got the win in that match, but costing LA Knight a possible win in that match. So I could see that being true and us heading into Night of Champions with it being LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Absolutely can see that. And I know it's not a championship for LA Knight, but he's in good company in this possible feud it could be against Seth Rollins. So that's really cool to see. According to Fightful Select, there will be a push for NXT to use Mr. Iguana for appearances. He got a lot of praise for his performance at Worlds Collide, and he was apparently even popular with the WWE roster. Absolutely. I feel like this could be more on the true side. Mr. Iguana, he got a very big pop, especially among the kids, with the Iguana, and just his performance and how he was at Worlds Collide. I could see how big of a praise he's already gotten. And plus, on Monday Night Raw, he got a video package, which was really cool to see. And I feel like a lot of the guys and the girls from AAA, Lucha Libre Worldwide, I feel like a lot of them were going to fit in very nicely within the WWE roster, and just what we've seen so far, especially with Octagon Jr. getting a shot against Dominic Mysterio last week at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship, and just how well Worlds Collide just came out. I have high hopes and some very good thoughts and very good feelings about how a lot of the AAA roster will integrate into Raw, SmackDown, and NXT eventually, and just how it's all just going to integrate together. I feel good about it. I'm staying positive about it, and I know we're going to have to wait and see how things go in the coming months and years, but right now I'm feeling good about it, and I just want to stay in that moment right now with it. Fightful Select notes that Danhausen's current AEW contract expires in July, unless the company extends it due to injury time off. They also say he was welcomed back during the return of Final Battle, and the expectation then was he would be worked back into storylines, but communication dried up after the show. Danhausen, very entertaining. It was really great to see him when he was part of storylines in AEW, and especially in Ring of Honor, but it has been we haven't seen him in a very long time, and with either they add time or decide not to renew his contract. I hope I really hope for Danhausen they just release his contract so he's just free to go elsewhere and find opportunities elsewhere, whether that's WWE and NXT or TNA or New Japan, wherever a chance for opportunity for him, which there's a lot more of these days versus when I was a kid in the 90s watching pro wrestling, how limited the opportunities were. There's so many more opportunities these days. So if this is true and AEW doesn't renew his contract, doesn't add injury time to it, time off for it, I really look forward to seeing where Danhausen ends up next, if it indeed goes that way. Bodyslam.net's Viper is reporting with Corey Hayes. WWE is now talking about holding the draft after SummerSlam and trying it into their season premiere, tying it into their season premiere shows in September. I have been saying this for quite a while now. In just about every episode here of Wrestling with Rumors, I have stayed true to the fact that when the WWE draft happens this year, it is going to happen during the fall into season premieres of Raw and SmackDown. It is what made the most sense. There's so much happening. There is so much going on within WWE this summer that having it in the fall makes the most sense. And I have been saying that for countless episodes of Wrestling with Rumors. Whenever a rumor would come up about the draft. I have been staying true to this, and it's and now they're saying the same. Now that they're saying the same thing, they're right there with me on that. Now I know that like I'm very low on the totem pole when it comes to wrestling type shows, and none of like the other higher ups of wrestling shows even know who I am, or probably I've most likely never seen my show. But I know but I know what I'm talking as someone who has been a fan of pro wrestling, especially WWE, since I was a kid. I'm talking all the way back to the first time I watched WrestleMania 3 in 1987. I have been a fan of this. I am true to this. I am a lifer for life with this. So I know some things. All right. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to come off like I'm mad that no one's listening to me. This is proving my point that I know what I'm talking about. I know I'm not the best at getting out a lot of the things that I'm trying to say on this show. But I know what I'm talking about. And unless I'm proven wrong, and I will admit to it if I'm wrong about when the draft happens, but I am very strong in believing that it will happen sometime between September and October during the season premieres of both Raw and SmackDown. And now they're saying it too, so I feel like they are proving me right. You know, that's all I'm going to say about it. We're going to move on, but I'm right. All right. Bodyslam.net's Corey Hayes says WWE is working with a mainstream artist to create a new entrance song for Seth Rollins. Hayes also mentioned that Rollins' faction with Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed is expected to receive its official WWE name soon. So between a mainstream artist who's recording a new theme song for this faction and the fact that this faction is going to get a new name, I feel like we're going to get all of this stuff either by Night of Champions or after Night of Champions. Like going into July, we will get not only a name but the new song as well. I feel like that's when it's going to happen, sometime between either at Night of Champions or after Night of Champions, going into Saturday night's main event, or even possibly by SummerSlam. Possibly that. If not by Night of Champions, then either before or during or after Saturday night's main event, or at SummerSlam. I'm leaning more towards SummerSlam, but it could be a little bit more in the middle with that. In an interview with People, Nikki Bella suggested that she's back in WWE for an extended run rather than a one-off match. And she's quoted by saying, "You'll definitely see me for a bit. It's not a quick in and out." I'm feeling like everything that this will most likely we'll see her a lot more on Raw, which will start building that story to what will be a match at Evolution. And I'll continue by saying, speaking of Bella, WrestleVotes heard that WWE is hopeful to get Brie Bella back in the fold with a creative idea for a women's tag team title match at Evolution, currently on the table. So with that, adding to that, her getting her match, I don't think it'll be a one-on-one match between Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan. I think what's going to happen is eventually we're going to get to a point as we get closer to Evolution. I think Brie Bella is going to come back, and we're going to get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending their women tag team championships against the Bella Twins at Evolution, and that could lead into a program that takes Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, keep them on TV for a while, holding the tag team championships, possibly until we get to SummerSlam, where either Liv Morgan or Raquel Rodriguez get another rematch, or another women tag team like B-Fab and Michin getting a shot at those women tag team titles for it, possibly, or even something. And I would even go into say possibly even something with inspiration, something that involves with them coming back at against all odds, possibly something with them, not with the TNA partnership. There's a good chance for something like that to happen as well. Bringing back Iconic, but they'll be inspirational, of course. Possibly, you never know. I mean, but like Evolution, Bella Twins versus Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez sounds like the way they're gonna go with that, and then possibly hold on to those championships and have a nice run with them until we get to SummerSlam, where they possibly would drop the titles to either Liv Morgan or Raquel Rodriguez, or a new women's tag team like BFAB and Michin, possibly. According to WrestleVotes Radio, there is a plan for Natalya and Maxine Dupree to wrestle as a team going forward, possibly using the name the Dungeon Dolls. WWE is working to get the name legally cleared right now. This would be another team that I would put into that fold as possibly facing the Bella Twins at SummerSlam for the Tag Team Women Championships. If it goes how I said it possibly could go at Evolution, this would be another team, the Dungeon Dolls. And I like that name. I like that name for Natalya and Maxine Dupree, the Dungeon Dolls. I like that. It's got a good feel to it. So keep my eye out. We'll keep our eye out for that actually goes the way it goes. Fightful Select indicates that AEW is planning to book the Young Bucks versus Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland at All In Texas on July 12th. This feels like this is more true in this rumor, because after what we saw at Summer Blockbuster Wednesday night, that 4-hour show, what happened outside the trainer's room between the Young Bucks and Adam Page, and what Will Ospreay heard, and what Swerve heard going on outside between Adam Page and the Young Bucks, and how also during the match between Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, that was a hell of a match. That was a pay-per-view worthy match that happened that night. But how Will Ospreay took a bullet, in a sense, with the tacks to the shoe for Strickland. So I could see how this match is going to quickly come together for All In, for Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland to work together. And I also see it. I also see somehow Adam Page getting some unexpected help from Swerve Strickland that same night at All In the main event. 100% could see something like that happening. Absolutely. The Observer said, whatever stories that went around from Jonathan Coachman that TKO asked Reigns to take a pay cut or resurrect his deal are false. It's like I said last week when I brought up there were two rumors that I brought up that Jonathan Coachman said, and I'll say it again this week, that you got to take not only his rumors but all these rumors I read at a grain of salt, and speculate. And until they're proven true or we see it happen on TV, they are exactly what they are, rumors. This was one of those rumors that I brought up. The other one was about the power struggle between Triple H and The Rock and how they're not getting along. Were both two of many things that Jonathan Coachman said. So, like I said, take them at a grain of salt. But this sounds very accurate from the Observer of saying that what Jonathan Coachman said are false. Anyway, last rumor. WrestleVotes claims that WWE Hall of Fame star Trish Stratus is coming to SmackDown next week. Firstly, awesome. It's always great when we get to see Trish Stratus back on TV. Secondly, I will say this is something that's going to start a build possibly for Evolution. Excuse me. It's like I said, it's really filling, and I've actually read a couple of rumors about Evolution here on Wrestling with Rumors that they are planning to stack the card for Evolution and try to get as many women as they can on the show across all brands, from Raw to SmackDown to NXT to even TNA and AAA, I believe, too. So Evolution is the sequel to Evolution is definitely going to be a lot better than the first one. And I enjoyed the first one, but the second one is really going to blow the first one out of the water. So I'm looking forward, hopefully, to seeing Trish Stratus next week on SmackDown. We'll see if that happens. But that will do it for this week's episode of Wrestling with Rumors. Normally, I have a few other things I want to talk about, but I don't really have anything else to really talk about this week. Just wanted to keep it true to the rumors this week, and that's it. That'll do it for Wrestling with Rumors. I appreciate all of you for sticking around for the entire episode of Wrestling with Rumors. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up when I drop a new episode of Wrestling with Rumors here on my AKT Publishing here on my AKT Publishing channel. I drop a new episode every Sunday of Wrestling with Rumors. Monday through Saturday is Rumor of the Day. Look out for those. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Hit that like button. And I appreciate all of you. And let's have a good week. Don't forget to take care of yourselves. And I will see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.